So the market continued to sell off today. And I'm sure a lot of you are asking the same question. Is this the time to dip buy? Are we going to see a bounce? In today's video, we're going to get you guys prepared. We're also going to be looking at some stocks to keep on your watch list for tomorrow. Y'all, let's dive into the charts. Right off the bat, we got the Nasdaq, and so far, the Nasdaq is doing what I told y'all it would do. We got the red band right here, and the price approached 21,000. We actually got just a little bit below 21,000. Yeah, a double bottom right here, and again at 10:30 at exactly 21,000 before we bounced. And right now, what I can tell you is this. The VIX is still bullish, right? The VIX still looks like this. Technically, it's en route. That trajectory is still going. Like it's on the way over there, right? It hasn't given us an indication that this is fake. Yes, there is long wicks right there, which is a bit worrisome. All right, for anybody who is long the VIX, for example. But still the trend is bullish. Therefore, I cannot take a strong bullish stance on the overall market. I can't tell you that this is the bottom and that we're ready to bounce. Again, this is the SPY, by the way. All right, and we have this trend line. The price broke below the trend and turned bearish. And we have a gap at the bottom, which might get filled sooner rather than later. I thought it would get filled today, especially after QQQ took care of its gap. Yeah, if you look on the left, let me just make that. The gap right here starts from 508.70 and ends at 512. It almost filled it. Like it almost went way below here and filled it completely. All right. So again, this is something to worry about. Right now, the futures are only about 0.33%. The SPY is only about 0.20%. Tomorrow, if we open up at the same price or lower, we could see the same thing happening again, where we see a little bit of a pump fake in the first like 5 to 10 minutes, and then we see the market rolling over again. All right, it will be really good for all of us, for the bulls especially, if we can take care of the gap at the bottom really fast. It will be a good thing. That way, when the market is bouncing, we know we can have more confidence that it's going to bounce and then slowly have a new uptrend and then take out the previous highs. All right, this is in our way and it has to get taken care of. And I think there's a possibility that may happen tomorrow before we bounce. Okay, now let's discuss the stock for today's video. The stock for today's video, let me go into 1 minute. We're gonna look at TSM. This one broke out not too long ago. It broke down, I would say. Let me get rid of that. It broke down not too long ago. There's two ways that I look at this thing. Two ways. First and foremost, there's a descending triangle right there that broke down on Monday morning or Tuesday. What day is it? I think today's Wednesday. Yeah, I think this is Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. This is 21st, 24th. Okay, it broke down on Monday, and then it continued today. All right, and typically with this, we should see a drop all the way down to 180. Typically, usually. Okay, so that's one way I see it. And could there be a catalyst that could really make this thing tank immediately? Yes, and that could be, it could be NVDA underperforming through earnings. It could be that, because NVIDIA has earnings coming up tomorrow afternoon. All right, and the stock looks like this on the daily. Let me just give y'all I want y'all to see the bigger picture. I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm not. I promise you, I'm not. That's not my goal. I just want you to see the whole thing, to see where we stand. All right, I zoomed out completely. Just this is how it looks like. Now we're gonna zoom in. All right, now we had a drop right here from the 20th all the way down to the 27th of January. And then this is looking like a dead cat bounce with the gap filling on the left. All right. Now, like if there's something wrong with these earnings, if let's say they put out poor guidance or something like that, like we might see this thing actually go back down to like 115. We might see it drop back down to support right here. We might. I'm not saying we will. I'm just saying there's a possibility that it could. Especially if tomorrow we get no action from the indices. Like let's just say that with the SPY we get a doji, for example. The NVDA could be the catalyst that brings everything down, right? And sets us up for a long on Thursday morning from the bottom up like that. All right, so that's something to consider. Like I always tell you guys, holding through earnings is gambling, and I'm sure the contracts on the video are getting inflated, so just keep that in mind. There's a 66% chance that you will lose money if you gamble through earnings. Just keep that in mind. All right, now let's look at the stock for yesterday. Yesterday I gave you guys Google, which I had puts on it, and I ended up getting rid of it like in the first, when I saw that first wick down. Let me go back to, so Discords, and then we got here. So this is yesterday at 255. I saw this thing at like 179.71. I bought puts on there with the price target of being 175, and then I made a video about it for all of you. All right. And then literally out the gates, when I saw the first candle drop so quickly like that to 177, I started selling. Like the stock was already like negative 1% in my favor anyways. And I told y'all before, when something gaps in my favor, I start selling. All right. So I sold half right here. And then I ended up getting out of all of it, like right here. I didn't hold all the way down. I could have done better. But either way, this is a winning trade for me. All right. A lot of people probably held and made more money on this drop, and congrats to them. I also gave everybody Tesla, because Tesla was looking pretty good at 840 after the breakdown of this descending triangle right there with a price target of 305. All right, so that is the reason why Tesla tanked, for anybody who was wondering why it had a massive sell-off today. And I gave y'all a warning yesterday too about that neckline on Tesla. Now let's look at it again. Let's look at Tesla, since we're talking about it. Is it ready to bounce? Is this thing the bottom? This line of resistance stretches all the way back from like from July 19 of 2023. All right, long-term investors, I'm sure, are very, very happy to get a good discount on their Tesla. Keep in mind, like this is quite close. Now this is looking a bit realistic. The gap fill right here. And if NVIDIA doesn't do too well through earnings, we might even see that when like it drags the whole market down. We might see that. It's not something to rule out. It's definitely not something to rule out. Again, tomorrow, if it gives us a doji, like let's say we open up at like 306 and then we close at like 310 and we end up like this, NVIDIA could be the reason why we take a massive dump down or we stay at this range. All right. So again, it's quite possible. Keep the stock in your watch list. The candles are getting bigger, which offers a lot of opportunities, and we got 3 more days in the week anyway, so keep it on your watch list. The next one to look at for tomorrow, this one also has earnings. That one is low is looking like this. It has earnings tomorrow. It's been on a downtrend for the past like quarter, and that right there is making me think that we might actually fall. And another thing that worries me about the stock is there's a gap at the bottom at 220. So the game plan for this one is simple. Its earnings is in the morning, right? What we want to see is we want to see a gap down to like 236, and then we want to see the first candle being red with tremendous volume that is greater than 200. Wait, that is greater than, yeah, than 200,000 shares traded. Like the higher the better. All right, we want to see a big red candle like this with this type of volume out the gates. That will be the clue that we might actually see an all-day fader with lows. All right, so this is also another one to keep in your watch list as well. That's my honest thoughts on all of these stocks, and that is the end of the video. Do not forget to annihilate the like button. As always, I make these videos from Sunday to Thursday at exactly 8 p.m. Central Time. So definitely click on that subscribe button and click on the notification bell. That way you don't miss out on future uploads. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community where you can get all of this information in real time as I see them, you can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. Don't forget to follow social media at Paul and Goodman at Patternology Lab on Instagram and on X. And lastly, to get some free stocks with Webull, you can use the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns only. And I will see all of you in tomorrow night's video.